How much can a therapy practice owner expect to make in private practice when you take insurance? Let's take a look. Let's run some numbers. So if you want to see 25 clients per week and your average reimbursement is around $100 per session, that means you're going to make $2,500 per week. Okay, that's super respectable. Now here's the thing about insurance. From my experience as an accountant, reimbursement rates for mental health are going to vary somewhere between $100 to $125 per session. There are some areas where that number is going to be even lower and a couple of areas where that number might be higher. But if you are on panels where there's numbers for reimbursements that are way lower than that, you may want to consider getting off that panel to increase your average fee per session. And now, from a philosophical perspective, I really do wish that insurance companies valued mental health the way that society values mental health. But right now, that's simply not the case. And so these reimbursement rates, they're really, really low, given that a lot of therapists come out of school with their master's or PhD, and $50,000 to $100,000 in student loans is not unusual. So these numbers are a little bit low, and I really wish that they were higher, but that's just the reality of an insurance practice. Now, let's say you want to work 48 weeks of the year, because we know we're going to have stuff come up. That means you're going to make $120,000 in the business. But that is definitely not going to be your take-home pay. In fact, I would say you probably have to allocate about 20% for overhead, just because you're going to have to pay for things like rent, software, insurance, maybe some admin time. There's a lot of things that are going to come up and that you need to pay for that are just legitimate business expenses, credit card fees, billing, right? All of that. So that means you have to allocate $24,000 to that. That means you have $96,000 left. All right, we're in a good spot, but about 30% of that is going to go to taxes, or you should be saving for taxes. That's going to be $28,800 that is going to go for taxes. That means we now have $67,200 left. That's wonderful. If we divide that by 12, that means you have $5,600 per month. Awesome. But this dollar amount, it has some heavy lifting to do. You won't always be able to take this whole amount home, because you're also going to have to use that money to grow the business. If you plan on making investments or growing the business or hiring someone at some point, you're going to need to save some of that money, hold it back to be able to eventually grow your business. So usually you're not going to take this entire dollar amount home. And now this is a really good number, but that assumes 25 sessions per week, which for a lot of therapists, that is considered to be a full caseload. But for you, that might feel like way too much. Maybe you're going into private practice because you want to work less. Or there's a lot of therapists who don't make nearly this much money. But what I wanted to show you here is that the math does make sense. The math is doable, even in an insurance practice, even if you're only making $100 an hour, which I hope that you will be making more than $100 per session. The math still makes sense, but you're going to need to do a lot of hard work. There's a lot of unpaid hours when you're growing your practice to get to a full caseload of 25 clients per week. You can do it, but it will take some hard work to get there in solo private practice when you take insurance.